Submitted for your approval. A fan-based show who encompasses the multi-twined multiverse of superheroes, villains, sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and action comedy. All whose genesis stems from the printed page of the comic book. At the logo streaming towards your head, you've just entered into Comics, Cons, and Beyond. Welcome back to Comics, Cons, and Beyond. That's right, where you get the clap from us free.
Thank you for picking that up. I was worried I was going to leave it there.
No, I never leave it there.
Itchy at the scratch.
Yes, I do.
Well, alrighty then.
And we do have a lot to talk about. Glad that you folks are here joining us. As usual, we have
Adam.
Jeremy.
Bob.
and I am Lawrence. And we are going to be continuing our,
DC Invasion.
that's right, DC Invasion.
Don't worry, we're not Brainiac or Star Wars. So we're not going to kill all of you, but unless you leave.
Well, yeah,
Unless they leave,
because we know where you click. So stay here for this.
I'll find you.
All right.
Go first.
So I am going to talk a little bit about Swamp Thing. That's
But
right.
First,
But
we should
first-
probably
Oh,
introduce
let's
the
introduce.
reason why we are doing this. We
Well,
have.
I want to leave them in suspense.
Well,
No, go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Every
yeah,
day.
Just wanna make sure.
We're not in their life.
That's all right.
well, not only do we have a lot of stuff for the DC streaming universe that we need to talk about, but also
We do.
Injustice 2. Major thing that we can actually talk about and expand upon because of so much stuff just happened in the past couple months.
Yes.
Just aching to get into.
Well, then start us off, Jeremy. Rocking out.
Latest thing that I'm going to start off most, Joker.
Yes.
Now, Joker's design is not the traditional smiley, nice coat, slicked back hair, and regular knife. No, he is messy. He is an anarchist. He has blood on his chest, hair all down and messy, grin more crazy than usual, and his coat is not closed. It's open, just like in Suicide Squad. So you can see that little hint there of the costume design. Not only that, but his pose and fighting style has changed from the original Injustice. So not only is it this, but it's actually this.
Love that part.
So now he has a knife. He has also a giant bottle that is filled with Joker gas, and of course, more Joker gas. Another thing that you want to also talk about, and I want you guys to think about, what did you guys think about the way Joker's ultimate is? Now, the ultimate is, in the trailer that was released, he beats you with a crowbar, smacks you into an electric chair, beats you even more, and electrocutes you. Now, what do you guys think about him doing it to Robin? Because
Well, it depends.
Too soon.
Which
Never too
hurts
soon.
more, forehand or backhand?
I mean, at least the other Robins fought back a little bit and was a little fun.
So
Yeah.
if you're implying that there's going to be a Red Hood,
I really hope so.
Dare
They
we say
need to
it?
put
Dare
Red
we
Hood.
say it?
so I mean, there's a lot of things with that in general. I mean, we know if anyone's played the last
Justice.
Arkham game,
Oh.
that they had actual Robin sitting in a chair with Joker walking around, videotaping him, crowbar, everything involved. So I mean, obviously that could be an illusion, and they did wind up having some feedback from fans. If there were a character introduced into the game, what would they want to see? Would they want to see the Joker Red Hood, or would they want to see the actual Red Hood for what's currently DC? And people did say they wanted to see the Robin.
Well,
So-
nice. Well, that's good. Again, the industry listening to the fans, because at the end of the day, it's the fans who rule and tell the industry what they want to see.
We spend the money. We should
Yes,
buy
we
this
do. A lot of money, and we want what we want.
Did you guys see more of the other released characters that were released a little bit ago?
Well, do tell.
Swamp Thing. So that's gonna happen.
Oh, yeah.
Not only that, but we also have more of the female characters. We have also Scarecrow. That was huge. Darkseid finally was released, not just a pre-order tease. He is actually in game, and we have seen gaming footage of him. Brainiac is there, and as well as with the Shadow Alliance Part 5, more of Supergirl's origin, as well as Brainiac just kicking ass.
Well, moving forward, because Swamp Thing was mentioned, and as you folks know, I've been diving into and almost complete with the 1985 saga of the Swamp Thing by Alan Moore, creator and writer of The Watchmen, and I gotta say, it was a little slow in the beginning. very flowery in the words for the dialogue and the description, which is pretty much on point with Alan Moore. He's very flowery with his words, at least for the Swamp Thing. The thing that I'm digging about it is the evolution of the character, and through the six volumes that make up this saga of the Swamp Thing, we have so many guest appearances by the Golden Age and Silver Age characters of DC. The Golden Age of Justice League of America, or the Justice League Society. We have the Spectre that makes an appearance. We have the Spectre. We also have Stranger.
Didn't you have like the original
and
Green
Deadman.
Lantern?
Yes, the original Green Lantern. We also have from my childhood, House of Mystery and Unexpected. The brothers Cain and Abel make an appearance, which is awesome, as well as John Constantine.
Oh, okay.
John Constantine plays a major role in this, as well as Etrigan and Jason Blood. So it really integrates so many characters and storylines where Swamp Thing is becoming more aware of himself and the extent of his powers, the gifts, and what he can do. So when we saw Justice League Dark, if you folks have seen Justice League Dark, you saw Swamp Thing do some amazing things. Now, the original Swamp Thing saga from prior to 1985, he was this kind of, obviously swamp, encrusted, green encrusted kind of Frankenstein creation, creature that was trying to find out what happened and how he became who he became. Now he's experiencing and being thrust into more of the supernatural realm of DC with all the supporting characters, and those powers are actually pretty dang phenomenal.
Like what powers?
The ability to instantly transport from one portion of the planet to another portion of the planet.
Really could do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely incredible. To grow exponentially beyond his his
Base
subhuman,
form.
his base form, exactly. Just amazing stuff. So seeing Swamp Thing become such a key character in the newer DC universe for the animated feature films, I'm very much enjoying.
And not only that, but it seems like those powers are actually used as well, not only in the new Justice League Dark, but also in Injustice. Because when you go over his trailer, you see him extending himself, growing his little transportation, teleport behind, almost like with Scorpion. So have that same mechanic. At least then he's more prominent again.
He sounds like Dalzim in Street Fighter. I'm just saying.
Yeah, kind of. Honestly, yes, he does remind me of that. But it's good that they're not changing his actual powers, and his ability to care for the planet so much is why he's also in Injustice. And I think it's a good thing that we're bringing some of those old classic characters. But not only are they bringing out classic characters into Injustice, but in Batman and Harley Quinn movie, animated, Bruce Timm is back. And we went over this before, but we're bringing it back because they're bringing back an old classic DC character. Now, I forgot his name, but he's also plant-based.
About preparedness again.
He's not known by almost anyone until now. There's a plant-based creature, ManThing.
Man-plant.
I wish. If that was simple, that would have been nice. But even he's working with Poison Ivy. Batman and Nightwing actually give like a little nod to themselves, like, oh my god, it's him. So it's just that little suspense of who he is. Now, he also reminded me of Swamp Thing and Poison Ivy, of course, because he's plant-based. So I'm hoping that not only is he going to be brought back into the spotlight through the animated series, but also in the next future games. What do you guys think?
Be pretty interesting
to
play a character like that. Because the Swamp Thing character, as he has evolved, is truly a very formidable character.
Yeah, he's fighting like Brainiac.
Yeah.
And he translates well because he's not wearing a weird little spandex thong.
No.
I'm just saying. Like, you don't have to modernize him. He's just running around green, naked, happy.
Well, I mean,
that's right.
With DC getting into Injustice, I think the best thing to do would be is incorporate as many characters in there as you can. Now, obviously, we know that they're each going to have their individual move, and they're going to have their own special move and things like that. But, I mean, what better way to reach out to fans than include that character that, ManThing or anything that nobody's not that sure about? Because they're going to be like, well, I want to go out and buy that comic book. And that's honestly the best way to get anybody to these stores to go buy comic books or see a movie or anything like that. Because I got to know, I'm still reading Doctor Strange after Doctor Strange came out, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, and again, too, DC and Marvel have such a plethora of freaking characters to choose from. They have a treasure trove of characters that they need to revitalize to rebuild some fresh interest in their readership.
And they haven't chopped up their entire universe like Marvel has.
Yeah, that is true.
Where you have the
It's
different
very
territories. Like,
more
honestly, the
consistent.
current situation in the Marvel universe is, I think, is going to hold it back far from what it could become. And that's, we're going to have to wait to those, not to those copyrights, but those arrangements run out where Disney can then reacquire everything.
from
And
Fox.
DC isn't
and
suffering
Sony.
for that. That's why I think they can knock it out of the park,
Oh yeah,
as we've been saying, because I'm enjoying these animated films so much lately.
very much so.
Now,
I was gonna say Warner Brothers has never failed. I think anybody can get behind that. I mean,
Yeah.
Every time they make an animated film for Batman or Justice League or anything like that, it's always entertaining to watch.
Now that's
Right,
actually a
sick.
good transition too, because what I was want to bring up as well, not only with Warner Brothers, but with their streaming service. That
Oh, yes.
it's kind of controversial on a lot of opinions on the forums and Facebook pages I've been following, but apparently Warner Brothers is going to be streaming Young Justice season 3, The Outsiders is what it's going to be called, as well as Titans, the live-action Teen Titans series. That's going to be very more of the dark, very realistic, and it has Nightwing and Starfire and Raven. And I think they're bringing in Cyborg for an appearance. I think I read that, or it's just rumored. But they're bringing all that into a separate streaming service. Now, I don't know if it's going to fail us as like people who can't always just keep up with all the streaming services, but it's also a win for them economically with all the cash that they can rein in from that. And what if they're going to bring back all the original Warner Brothers cartoons and Warner Brothers DC
Oh, yeah.
films, their shows, all put back in here and maybe even remaster them?
Yeah, and that's not going to take much on their end. And it's a win-win for them because the people that subscribe to the network, if that's what they decide to do, which it sounds like they're going to, it's literally just profit because they own all this material. If they remaster, it's not going to take that much of an expense. Again, it's just profit.
But there is a possible dark side to this, is that if it's only a situation where you get the service if you have cable confirmed.
Well, all you need is broadband internet.
Well, what I'm saying
Yeah,
is
because
that
it's going to be internet.
that's the thing I was saying, is that some services, like for example, like Cartoon Network, when they
Yeah.
launch premieres, you have to confirm, like for example, in San Diego we use Cox and Time Warner. You have to confirm that account to be able to log in. I don't use cable because cable is a pointless thing at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
So I can't watch those things on launch. One kind of annoying thing, because sometimes that's a deal they work out. We'll see. Because I really hope they manage to circumvent it, like how HBO managed to rise above, and then Showtime and everyone, all the major film ones rose with them. But that's what I worry about, is that if I have to wait behind for every single time something awesome, DC comes out, and I have to wait behind everyone. That's the
Yeah,
only
it's
fear.
like if
That's
it's
not,
only premieres first on the Warner Brothers thing,
and you have to have cable service to get it. I mean to say you have to have an
Well,
account.
it's gonna be like
I
yeah, it's
don't
gonna
know.
be like an account, almost like a Netflix subscription.
Yeah, which you can do
but-
on any smart device. You don't have to be home based for that or with a home service.
But I can see where Adam's going with this because
Yeah.
it's almost like you can't premiere it here, but if you wait a little bit longer, they'll possibly re-air it on a
Exactly.
cable service.
I want it now. I want it first.
Well, I mean,
Instantaneous gratification.
Just
pay
in my-
for it.
That's
You
what it's
really
all
are an
about.
American.
Yes,
Just
he
put
is.
that needle in my brain while I sleep and just put the
Hold
cover.
on.
well, I mean, at least Warner Brothers is like you pay for
was
what you
there
get.
last week.
Their quality it matches with what they're paying. I mean, what they're charging. What do you think, Bob?
I agree. I think Warner Brothers, like I said, has never really disappointed when it comes to
Yeah.
the animations that they do. I think that when it comes to media and things of that nature, I hate to say this, but I feel like they kind of support a lot of the way DC does things. So maybe if a movie comes out and it's not that great, we always have, an animated series that can wind up kind of bringing you back from the cusp.
Yeah.
So until we can kind of get that steamroll and the support that DC needs, because obviously they're under that time crunch, we've always got, animated Batman.
Yeah.
It's almost like with
Oh, yeah.
the flop of Batman vs Superman versus the animated Teen Titans versus Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
You have a ultimate clash that everyone wants to see, flop in the theaters, but you have a revival in stocks and in money and in fan praise through the animated version.
Yeah.
And things like Injustice that are coming out that it's like, okay, I get to watch an animated series or I get to watch the Justice League, but we go, what's the next big step? I get to be a hero. I get to see what it's like when that hero winds up fighting somebody else, because now a lot of us are still riding that hype train from Superman versus Batman. Now we get to actually continue it through with the actual games.
Yeah.
Speaking about the being a superhero, have you guys been looking into the VR stuff with the Batman VR, Batman Arkham VR?
I've seen some stuff on
I
that.
haven't got to try a demo. There's one.
It's pretty good. Not gonna lie, I like
Well,
it.
you're gonna save that for Gamers Room, right?
How'd you know?
Just a hunch.
Well, you're related, Jake.
Yeah.
How's that?
Something like that. Yeah.
Maybe. It's kinda
All
weird.
right. Well, speaking of which, that was a pretty perfect segue. Do we have anything else to rant and rave about?
Oh, what do you guys think about the Harley Quinn cast besides it being Tara Strong? Like, who is your favorite Harley Quinn? Because there's been other actresses and voice actors that have brought Harley Quinn to life. Not only in some of the animated stuff,
Yeah.
let's say with the new Harley Quinn and Batman film, but I mean, you have Margot Robbie from Suicide Squad, and she's most likely coming back, of course. For
and
the
she's
role.
absolutely gorgeous
Yeah, 'cause now
and
they're gonna do
incredibly talented.
A
Yeah.
female movie cast with Harley Quinn being, I assume, the main
main character.
main character.
Well, I mean,
That
if
would
she
be
goes
fun.
rogue, then it kind of makes sense because she did get that in the comics, her own little spin-off.
Yeah.
And then also with a couple of the games, I think it was not just Tara Strong. There was like a couple other voice actors that have filled the role as well.
And to kind of mention back to Injustice, I feel like their Harley Quinn, much like the Joker kind of being from the movie, the little bit of interpretation on it, but I feel like the Harley Quinn as well from the game may not necessarily be exactly the one from the movie, but does look quite similar.
Yeah.
Adam, have something to add to that?
No, I just pat my chest because I'm content.
Content. Very, very nice.
I'm content too with this amount of news.
Well,
I'm excited.
we are all content, and we hope you are content, excited, and want more. And if you want more, you know what to do. Bob, what should they do?
Like,
Adam?
Summon the Dark Master.
That's right.
I was thinking more of subscribe and leave a comment on what you think.
Now subscribe, summon the Dark Master, whatever gets us to our 1,000,000 hits. I'll take it. Thank you, Adam. And as always, for Comics, Cons, and beyond, like us, subscribe, leave comments, tell everybody you know.
Hit that bell.
That's right, hit that bell. Or the bell will hit you, one or the other.
Probably
I'm
hit them on
Lawrence.
the comeback. Swing
Yeah,
back.
sure. Oh, yeah, because
Ding,
that'll
ding.
happen. They'll be like, ding, oh, son of a... That'll happen, so just be careful. We don't want to be responsible for your injuries.
Adam. That's me. I'm Adam.
That's Adam.
I press buttons.
He presses buttons.
I'm Bob.
Jeremy.
And Lawrence, we'll see ya.